Yes, Bucket, we are ready for the last day of qualifiers before we head on down to Texas to see how everybody plays it out at Major number 3. But speaking of Major 3, this is the final from Major 1 ton.
Yeah, and that was one that we were listening to the desk and I was like, oh yeah, this was the final of Major number 1. It seems like we've had so much Call of Duty since then, to be honest with you. And fortunes have changed somewhat, to be fair, but both these squads still towards the top end of things. And let's see how things go. I think this is a really, really hard one to call. The New York Subliners, for me, looked fantastic yesterday. Can they carry that over? That is the question. Seattle Surge have kind of been up and down a little bit, winning some of the games you expect them, losing the ones you expect. We're kind of not seeing anything groundbreaking from Surge at this moment in time. It's a very, very difficult one to call. I think both teams on their best day in New York take it, but let's see. It's Call of Duty. It's whoever's been playing best on the day is typically taking it away.
Yeah, I can't deny with that one at all, and realistically, either one of these two teams putting on a good performance here could tell us how they do at the Major. They have been favourites before, but there's already a little bit of a shot from HyDra, and Tan, this is the great thing about it. Seeing these two teams go to work onto this will help us decide, do they have a chance of winning Major number 3?
Well, that's it. I think both these two teams have got to be in the conversation. That will be their expectation when we do head over towards Texas. They have to be there with the best teams in the game. I think a lot of people will have Atlanta FaZe on their lips, and I'd imagine so after game number 2, whatever happens there will have a good influence on that. But speaking of this game, P2 rotation looking nice from Surge. Gunfights going their way. Just want to try and get a hold of that car park if you can, but gunfights, as mentioned, looking pretty good for the side of Seattle Surge right now. Getting some decent time on P1. 13 seconds or so. We rotate around. Keep an eye on HyDra on this rotation.
They're waiting for it. KiSMET trying to move forward as well. Help them out. Both teams did a really good job of playing for positioning. Not about the P1, but it is about the P2. It is going to be Seattle Surge with a slightly better position out towards the back. HyDra's trying to do his work inside, but they're looking for him. Simp's going to find him as well, and he jumps down a toilet, ducking and diving, and eventually falling as he lines up with his teammate. Only KiSMET alive, but outnumbered.
KiSMET now, all on his own. The rest of the team not in too bad of a spot, and contesting from this side is actually fine. Accuracy now towards the back. Can he do much about it? He can find 1, 2, staying alive. Good job from Accuracy. Will eventually get taken down, but slows down New York for only just a second.
Again, still battling over this P2 hard point. It does look like New York may come away with the winner. I think Pred's going to go for this contest. It will be all the scrap time for him if he can make it, but no, down he goes. We're over to P3. Accuracy's here first. Skyz going to try and take this fight. And he's found him as well. He got it done, and now you can see that New York not only grab the scrap time, they grab the next hill.
Yeah, New York just transitioned lovely. Over from top towards the car park side. Mack now coming in for the challenge up top as well. We'll find 2, can't find the 3rd. Good job from Priestahh. He will answer that one back, and for all that this looked bad for the side of Seattle Surge after that initial couple of gunfights go the wrong way, it's a lovely break coming on through. P3 has to be good for them here. It's already a pretty decent lead for New York. Surge can close that gap now.
Yeah, wonderful retake there, and actually though, he's starting to take some nades through. They need another trophy down, and KiSMET finds 2, and the 3rd, but Accuracy's nade will eventually clean him up, but it's not going to be enough as Simp tries to stem the tide. New York flooding in here for their retake. And Accuracy, it just wasn't working out for him. His teammates fell, and then the nades came in. And I say that's been an instant retake from Seattle Surge. The boat is tipping both ways.
For Subliners now, setting up towards the next hill. Lick your wounds just a little bit based on what just happened there. It was a good hold initially. But Surge very much coming back into this one, but a lot of Call of Duty to be played. Pred's in a 1 and 8. I'd imagine he'll change this here, and well, there you go. Those shots are not of the player 1 and 8. I've seen teammates in my rank play with 1 and 8 on their scoreline. You've been one of them. You don't shoot like this, Pred. Good couple of kills coming on through. Is the cleanup going to be there from the teammates? Accuracy for the final one. Beautiful transition from Surge.
They are now in, but here comes HyDra trying to get through, but Accuracy is wary. He's got it as well, and Seattle Surge will now be holding all the doors. They have to get through so many players. There's the first one down. Now comes the hard break. They have to get inside and find the right angle for it, and they can't, as Mack has found 2. That's already one route completely shut down. Pred's holding the other. Only Priestahh alive to try and do something, but without reinforcements, he has to be slow.
That's 2 hills in a row now. That Seattle Surge have broken far too easily. New York have been ruining their mistakes here. This could have been quite a substantial amount of points. Here comes the double channel. HyDra just about getting a hold of that one. Takes off of his health, and that will only be 10 seconds scrap time. Now, we talked about this hold over towards the kitchen. Can New York get themselves over into a better position? Currently, Surge are the first ones here, but it's mostly been New York on rotation. Surge breaking. Shoes on the other foot this time.
Mack's taking like that nade's going to get KiSMET in as well, and the life will come back. Seattle Surge have been on the ascendant recently, but so have New York. I mean, after that last major, who knows with these two teams?
Still holding here for the side of Surge. Is the break coming for Subliners? They're setting up in the correct way. You're just going to win your gunfights now. Skyz towards the back is going to be the catalyst. HyDra through the front door. It's a laundry cleanup. The Subliners will find a route through. Really nice break coming in from them. And honestly, if you looked at the game yesterday as well, they were out-rotating. They were holding well. Just a couple of little breaks coming in from the side of OpTic is what got them back into this. And it feels like Surge with 2 good breaks, that's all it's taken for them to find a lead here. New York need to be a little bit more consistent, and looking like another break could be falling the way of Seattle. Just a little bit too, I want to say soft from New York. It's falling far too easy. The gunfight's not going your way. You've got to lock these down a little bit tighter.
No, I agree. But bearing in mind, this game, at the moment as we go to the second set of rotations, really isn't that far apart. Just 22 points between them. As KiSMET looks probably to dive through the door here and take down Simp straight off this point. Looks for it. There it is. Sky's going to get it actually in the end. A few more points for New York. They're looking to maybe get a few more onto P1, but KiSMET just holding, waiting for the player he knows coming, and he has to get distracted by Mack. And eventually will be taken down. With 37 seconds left to go in this hard point, both teams will now be thinking P2.
As time goes on, we're seeing more teams pick up decent amount of time over towards P1. It's all about the top bridge control. It's all about top toilets control. That usually indicates whoever's going to win those gunfights is going to win some decent amount of time. But speaking of what we've seen from both these two teams so far, that's disgusting from HyDra as the rotation's starting to come in from New York again. New York are the best breaking team on this map. 50% of the time they're finding the breaks. Holds have been a struggle though, and we're getting good evidence of that so far. Looks like it's going to be a 50-50 gunfight as we head over towards P2 now. New York probably in the better position. No, they do have a hold of car park, but keep an eye on accuracy.
Well, Skyz will be the first one in. The rest of Seattle is going to fall. And accuracy finds 2. Pred will find a 3rd. And that is New York completely rebuffed. You are right about the braking. We are keeping this competitive. But accuracy just finding everything on the flank there to crack P2 wide open.
The holds have not been good enough, honestly, from New York on the most part. Let's see if they can try and wake up a little bit here. 30 seconds to play for over towards P2. HyDra will find another, gets out the tack when needed. And for Simp here, what's the call? Do you start wrapping around over towards tennis courts? Do you hit it one more time? It's a big 20 seconds. Could be a bit of a swing if it goes the wrong way. Simp will happily take it, but for all of that, the rotation is once again being lost. New York Subliners will be the first ones there. Surge's breaks have been fantastic so far. It's going to be good again.
Priestahh takes that down as well. This is where it gets a little bit tricky. New York, one good time here on P3. Can they do a little bit better at holding than they have been? Pred into action, but gets down in orange before he can make any sort of moves. Him coming for the backup as well. New York have stacked this. They've got HyDra watching orange, and Simp's going to see an elbow, but he's not going to win the gunny. Mack will take down Skyz with the grenade as chaos erupts around this as Mack finds a second, but still nobody really in a position to get onto that point.
Yeah, chaos is just about right. I was thinking of that when I'm looking at the minimap. Everyone all over the place. KiSMET now will get taken down. It's a break here for Surge. Now the team really in control of that one, so I'll not necessarily blame New York for what was a bad rotation or not. Now you're in a tough position though. Do you start making this push over towards P5? That's got to be the call, but HyDra may well just hit over towards orange. He gets eviscerated as Pred will find 2. Rotation coming in. Big kills have to be found by Priestahh.
Needs it. Gotta get that one as well. And
Spawns.
even though oh my goodness, they're all at the back. They're all there. Well, Seattle Surge have just walked into the point for next, and they need to now try and get back out of it. Oh my goodness! It couldn't have gone worse for New York. They thought they had something, but they have been pushed out. They have been rebuffed, and the score is spiraling out of control.
Spawn out and inshallah and just hold on for Seattle Surge. It works out perfectly for them, but in the end, it is going to be York Subliners locking it down. Accuracy just about coming with another kill as well. Wonderfully played. I mean, Seattle Surge will count their lucky stars for that one. Subliners trying to find a route back in with what was initially a really good rotation, but again, the hold's not there. I won't necessarily blame them too much for that one. HyDra on the flank. Can he disrupt what's going on here for the side of Surge? That should be a clean break, and it is 3 from HyDra. You may well need to find the 4th to lock this one in. But now about the rotation over towards Kitchen. It's been fast and furious, Bryce. HyDra, 24 and 17.
They're going to need him more than ever. And with 14 seconds left, the Scrapz may just go away. Pred's not even going to chat it. As we move towards it, KiSMET finds one. They're looking now to put the squeeze on, trying to make sure they can get back into this game. It is still going to be relatively close as they close this net inch by inch. There we go. KiSMET gonna back through the door. Oh, wait a minute. Door not working completely, and that gets him kills. Oh my goodness, Seattle Surge wiped the New York Subliners. They stacked for a break and found nothing.
Oh, this is a good 20-30 points without answer. You would like to think KiSMET and Skyz will find kills in the mid-map, but they've still got to make their way through. It's about 15 seconds uncontested. Mack steps off. Here comes KiSMET. Here comes Skyz. Oh, absolutely dealt with. HyDra's the only one who can do anything because it's HyDra, and he can. He finds 3. Still, the break is not here for Subliners. Surge, you are 40 points away. You're in the hill. It's still contested. 20 seconds to go. Subliners need this scrap. We need a good rotation to P1. We need everything from Subliners to be perfect now.
And this entire game, it has felt like New York are just a step behind. Can they find what they need to overturn this? The last bit of scrap time is falling here. But as we go towards P1, sometimes if you're ahead in this position, you can play the hill considerably. And that's what New York are going to have to worry about.
You play the hill, you start distracting them, thinking about the spawns on rotation. That's got to be the plan for Seattle Surge now. A few of them do fall. Right inside the point, he'll get caught out here though. Shots are going to be fired. I don't think he'll clean this one up. He'll be getting caught out indeed. Priestahh finding one. KiSMET another. New York Subliners doing a good job of keeping Seattle off this. And also a rotation over towards P2. Going to start coming in momentarily. 30 seconds to play for here at P1. HyDra cruise missile in hand.
Just going to play to keep everybody off P1 as much as possible. He wants that time, but it's not really worth dying. HyDra on 7th Street goes across. That nade will catch him. And this is where it is now dangerous. Not only do New York have a mountain to climb, they can't even really touch P1, but P2 is all the way on the other side of the map, and this is a hard break.
And now what is the plan? You got to find that kill towards the front. Pred will be able to find one. Can he find the second as well onto HyDra? He can. And that's wonderful play from Pred straight out of top PD, and then he will find those kills on the break. HyDra, he needs to call this cruise in.
They need to get some nades and tack into this. Surely there's going to be a trophy on it. There is. It's going to be completely deflected. Accuracy is just having fun. Carving apart New York as they try to push for it. Accuracy still moving. Simp's got the outside as well. HyDra will eventually take him down, but it's been 22 seconds and New York haven't even seen the hill. They haven't got close. Pred finds 2 more. As a New York scramble, they cannot get near this hill as they are gunned repeatedly, and Seattle Surge put them to the sword on map number 1.
A wonderful performance from the Surge boys. And honestly, it was a tale of 2 halves, I want to say. The rotations were much better from Surge, and they were finding success in that sense, I want to say, in the second rotation of hills. But throughout the first, it felt like Subliners in control, but nothing to show from it. A really good performance from Surge. I don't want to maybe focus too much on the spawns towards P4, but that was definitely a big influence on the game as well. You got a feel for New York in that scenario. Just, oh, okay, maybe didn't read it right. Can we put it down to them? Who knows? 250 to 181. Big performance coming in from Pred towards the end specifically as well. We've seen him disrupting as much as he could over towards Kitchen at the end of the second rotation, and then when we went into the third, that play out of top PD just to shut down that mid cut. Everything from Subliners was in that. If you could find a couple of kills there, you could post up, contest as best you can. We're going over towards P3, but a really good job from Surge. The bricks were clinical when they needed to be.
Yeah, they were, and that's kind of what I was saying. Like, apart from New York having an early little bit of a lead here, you can see on the replay, it felt like they were chasing Seattle for the rest of the map. You never really saw Seattle out of it. There were times when New York got the rotation and never held it for very long. And that eventually kind of gets them out of it, especially when they accelerate, especially when that break come in late game and Seattle Surge just took more and more points away. New York had a really difficult fight to get back in it. And around that P1, P2 play, we've seen it many, many times. If you are behind going P1, P2 for the finish, it's difficult to play P1 and you probably won't get P2.
You're very right. It's so awkward to play around. HyDra does a good job here at breaking, but it was just too little too late. She finds a 4th, finds a 5th here as well with the help of his teammates. Did get a hold of that cruise, but yeah, it was just a solid wall from Seattle Surge at that stage because Pred's pushing out. The ARs are chilling. They can set themselves up. There's trophies everywhere, and you're going to run into the irons of accuracy. Never a good place to be. Subliners probably not too happy with that, but will not be too deterred. There's a long series left in this one. Let's Seattle Surge looking a little bit more like the team that we've seen in the grand finals, of course, already this season. Yet to see a really consistent game from them across the board, but Hardpoint has always been pretty solid, and that's a solid way to start the series.
Yeah, I kind of want to show. I think Mack actually had a really good time as well. Some of his kills were very, very influential. Pred started off really slow, actually. I think it was like 1 and 8 in the kill feed at the time, and then finishing 28-26 showed that he accelerated that pace just a little bit. I think for New York, they're probably going to have to go back and watch some of that. From the breaks to the holds, nothing was perfect.
Got to change it up as we stay on aBeZy, but this time around for Search and Destroy. And yeah, you know, I kind of half mentioned it throughout, as that is actually New York's first loss on aBeZy Hardpoint throughout the season. They were one of the number one, well, they are the number one breaking team at 50%, which is quite far and above everybody else. But it was really them who was getting broke over and over again. Holds have been a problem for both these two teams. They're pretty much very average, both of them, but it was a really solid outing by the side of Seattle Surge. So big props to their breaking. That comes down from players like Pred, Mack, making those plays, saving accuracy, then finding their way in. Really good job from the Seattle Surge. But aBeZy Search and Destroy coming up next. Both these two teams, it's a hard one to call. Last time around, we've seen Seattle Surge play us up against London, was a 6-1 victory for them, so there will be confidence, of course, but Subliners need a bounce back here.
They certainly do, and they're going to be relying on some of their big hitters for it. KiSMET was once called one of the best players in the league, and obviously we highlighted Mack that last one as well. And this is maybe the difference between them. We can see here the S&D KD. Mack better in plants, better in KD, better in kills per round, and better in first bloods. Do you think that makes a difference?
Well, I think so. I think what's so impressive about these statistics is for the side of Mack, he is the bomb carrier and dropping a 1.67 in Search. That is pretty crazy. We see some big numbers from some players who maybe play around that, will make their positions to find those kills to help the team out, put them in advantageous positions. But Mack is that guy. He's getting the bomb down, he's making the plays in that aspect, he's being that objective player for you, and then also backing that up with some big numbers. Overall, in attacking rounds, he is dropping a 1.8 as the bomb carrier. Brycey, hold me, what are these numbers?
Hey, it's a Mack attack on S&D. Fun having keep going. A big win here for Seattle Surge over New York. Will raise their stock immensely on the run to the major. For New York, nothing has been going quite as well as winning major #1. And they'll be looking to put some haters back down into their pits if they can do it. But I'll tell you something, going into this major, it does feel very competitive across the entire league. But I don't know who's my favourite. Well, that's a lie. I think at the moment I'd add a FaZe the team to beat, but let's find out who else can do something.
That was a 3-man hit through the middle of the map from York Subliners. A fat amount of grenades heading up towards top. I think they're imagining that Lamar's setting up there. It was actually Simp. Survives it though, nonetheless. But that does slow down this push. Mack with bomb in hand, of course. Sib will get taken down, as will Mack. Accuracy was able to answer. Pred just runs out and guns HyDra. Round explodes into life. 2 versus 2.
Now, slow and steady, looking for information. KiSMET in a great position for it. They are going to leave a bomb site open. Pred wants to get that bomb back, but he's worried about who's outside this door. As we can tell, nobody, but KiSMET might be able to see him if he pushes too far. Here we go, Pred, slowly but surely opening the door. I don't think KiSMET's sitting there. He just peeks out, gets the bomb, goes back in. The call is going to be made. They're going over to 8. Accuracy is on Overwatch.
Accuracy getting himself over here is information for Pred to, well, hot step it over himself. Information will be gained here from Subliners, though. The fact that KiSMET sees absolutely nothing over towards the B side. Yeah, the bomb's going to be going down to B. Here comes the pinch. Potentially first gunfight's important. It's won by Accuracy. But did he know where KiSMET is? The answer is no. Pred will be taken down 1v1.
Here he goes, looking for Accuracy. It's all about the gun. He's going to see toes. Actually almost catches him slipping, and he gets out of him. Oh my goodness, Accuracy went to move, and KiSMET held the iron. Accuracy was not expecting the chow from that direction. And now KiSMET with his dead silence going to allow it to run out probably before he goes for this defuse. Wins the 1 versus 2 after Skyz goes down.
It's easier to say now, but I'm not quite sure why he moved. You've got him locked down towards Vance. Yeah, okay, the reposition might throw him off guard, but KiSMET Happy to take the gunfight on a minute or a second's notice, if anything. Accuracy, yeah, a little shake of the head. He knows himself that was the wrong decision. Of course, it's easy to say that when you've lost the round already, but tough one. I kind of understand, but still, the result speaks volumes. Subliners find a round in round number 1. And for Seattle, getting the bomb down is something they don't do a whole lot often, especially compared to the side of New York. We'll delve into those a little bit more. The grenade was solid from KiSMET over towards that defensive side, and imagine accuracy is brushing off a little bit of gunpowder now. KiSMET and Co now heading over towards B, but yeah, for New York, planting has really been a lot of their ethos when it has come down to these attacking rounds on aBeZy, as it always should be. Get that bomb down over towards B, you win the round the majority of the time.
Fred's in a really good position. Should be able to get a kill here, depending when somebody moves. But as you can see at the moment, nobody really going for it. KiSMET checking the windows. And New York are playing the burn time and look for a pick card. They've got Skyz on the sniper. KiSMET watching mid. Mack is going to fly across as well. The issue is now going to be time. They are going to have to move. The call has to be made.
35 seconds. And the ace in the hole that Seattle Surge have. Oh, his Pred, who's now just revealed these positions. Skyz is going to go for it. He doesn't get rechallenged. And now with the bottom toilets as well. Siv and Mack, though, doing the damage, which may have already been done by the time winding by New York Subliners. Pred now in a dangerous spot. Priestahh in an even more dangerous spot as he's already dead. HyDra all alone. Even he won't be able to pull this one off.
Seattle Surge playing that pretty much perfect. Patience. They never give anything away. Pred almost sold it. Took a little bit of a shot, didn't get the kill, got out of there though. Regained, and New York, sometimes that works. If you can find a pick early, it allows you to kind of pull the players away from the bomb sites, opens up some gaps. But Seattle Surge were giving them nothing. Nobody peeked Skyz. Nobody hit mid. And now, you can see that Seattle Surge, a clinical round from them.
Nicely done. And I think the thing is they think to themselves, okay, well, we don't really need to move. We don't really need to challenge. Look where Pred is. Like, he's in a position to shut down any sort of push that starts to come through. If somebody gets killed, he can trade that pretty effectively from that position, especially over towards the toilet side of PD. Pred now well aware of what's going on here. Subline is aggressive and will be paying for that one. Pred finds HyDra. Second will be good. Oh, it's
a gunfight inside. Mack rushes in. Can he stick him? He did. It's a trade. Skyz, 1 versus 2, looking for it. Not going to find accuracy that time around. He watched KiSMET do it after he went down. Can he get another clutch for the New York Subliners? It's going to be difficult because Seattle Surge are going to dictate the pace of this now.
Oh, they're going to run into him here. Oh, he's going to get a little bit of bad timing. They line up, though. Simp takes the bullets but lands the last one. And I think because of where Skyz was when he fired those initial bullets off, you see accuracy kind of back down. Skyz is like, okay, well, they're going B. Well, that's what they're thinking. But Skyz is just holding it down, saying, yeah, well, okay. Let's see which way you move with that one. Sib lands the final bullet. Scary one. Very scary one. That would have been a couple of 1v2s in the back pocket for New York Subliners. Never a bad thing to have. But the round will go Seattle's way. Just.
Yeah, it does. It's just 1v1's dictating this S&D at the moment. New York, though. Triple hit up top. All the way across. They're waiting for an aggressive push here. Is this the same tactic again? Are they going to play this passive and wait for Seattle to make a mistake? Pred has got hot feet. Dead silence is popped. Looking for that first blood. There's Priestahh. Easy peasy. Didn't get the dead silence reset, unfortunately.
Yeah, that's a tough one. There's plenty of information here, though. Everyone's stomping around above him. I dare you to chase me. I'm just going to hold this angle within SMG while it's HyDra. He is going to chase you and apparently going to gun you as well. Accuracy holding the cross. It's not necessarily the easiest gunfight, especially over towards the tennis side. I doubt you'll be able to kill him, but just staying alive over towards this ace side works out beautifully. Yeah, he's got the information. Accuracy sitting here, ready and wait.
He's going to go for it as well. So he's going to see 3. He's only going to get 1, though. Traded before he can do too much damage. Down to a 2 versus 2 between these again. And New York wrapping back to the other bomb site. Here's Mack, though. He's going to find KiSMET already, trying to make sure he stays down. Will he see HyDra push out towards the bomb site? They are running out of time. They just have to go for it.
Does it get a hit mark? He doesn't. Has got no idea that a player's already on the bomb. So what's the play call? Well, those shots landing would have been the one. KiSMET now staying alive. Bomb down, 2v2.
Oh, this is so tense. The S&D is coming down at tiny margins again. Oh, no, to the Simp. KiSMET finds it. Another 1v2 for him. Simp about to come through the door. KiSMET waiting with irons. Nobody blink. Nobody breathe. And KiSMET makes it again. The second 1v2 for the dog in this S&D.
Oh, and the positioning just works out so perfectly. 7-2 from KiSMET. Simp's never going to win that. There's so many different locations he can be in. As soon as he finds the first and survives the round, it's pretty much over. And the problem is Simp is already weak from the initial gunfight, which it looked like he had no right to win. What an S&D this has been so far, but New York Subliners looking like, you want to say the more solid team, but they're the ones who are having to clutch up on occasion. I don't know. Maybe it's just KiSMET. 7-2 from him. Hit marker coming through HyDra. Going for the peak. This is the first fast round that we see for a team. Was that a hit marker? Doesn't manage to find the kill. Accuracy finds another. It's a 2v4. Oh,
already got down. There we go. Priestahh, 1 versus 4. Gonna find one. Is there magic written in the stars for him? He's watched Priestahh get a couple of clutches, but this is 2 steps further. This is a long chow around the corner. This is a horrible position to try and win gunfights from because there's too much cover against you. Sim's going to see him. Down he goes.
I don't know if did I see a hit marker on that sniper? Am I?
It may have been
production. Now. Oh.
What did he hit there? His armpit? His elbow?
He shaved his elbow by the looks of things.
Oh, that's disappointing for HyDra. Especially considering he died very, very soon after it.
And that changes the round,
I will say this at this point, Tom, by the way. New York only have 2 rounds off of 2 1v2s by KiSMET.
It just always feels like, I don't know how to explain it. It feels like they've actually been doing pretty well in this and find themselves behind. I know you're saying the clutches are coming up, but Sal's Edge, maybe just the cleaner rounds, Subliners, I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping. Okay. Not another repeat of yesterday, please.
He's on that 2 reel pack. And again, New York, passive on the attack, waiting. Pred in the toilets, seeing if anybody makes a mistake. New York look like they want to push towards A. They may see if they can get a wrap going on towards B, though, but at the moment, holding fast with 50 seconds.
New York can kind of push absolutely nowhere right now. Very little information. Are they getting any here from Pred, though? Walking ever so slowly. He might still hear you. Doesn't matter, though. We'll find 2. HyDra's able to answer back with an aggressive push that comes through. It's only his 2nd kill of the game. Dead silence is popped. Needs to do something here for the squad.
HyDra flies out, goes for Simp as well, but oh, the sniper! He takes him down! I don't know if that was a quick scope, a no scope, or no hope. New York not having fun. And KiSMET, it's a 1 versus 3 this time for him. Surely not again. And down he falls to accuracy. This time does not leave the truck cover. And I don't know if we have that against Simp, but he is smiling ear to ear. What on earth happened?
Tell me we got it. Production, whisper sweet nothings in my ear and tell me you've got it.
Oh, we do. We do have it.
Oh, he's no scope!
I've just broken my chair by flying backwards. Oh, God.
And the thing is, if HyDra finds that kill, they're in a pretty decent spot. Yeah, KiSMET's over towards A, but all of a sudden you've got P3 control right over the top of B. You can kind of dictate what you want to do.
Now, looking maybe for a fast plant here. Pred's already got out towards the back. Simp on Overwatch, just shooting everything. Oh, and Pred has found one, got away with it, running. Is Priestahh going to chow this? Oh my gosh, he's going to see him as well. Pred gets another, and now HyDra in a 1 versus 3. Down he goes. Seattle Surge are moving mad on this map at the moment.
I mean, it's just worst case scenario, isn't it? You start to lose control over towards the B side, and then all of a sudden Pred's run up mid map and found a pick. Just disaster scenario for the side of the Subliners, who've crumbled here. Let's be honest, I think, you know, you're right. I must have been faded when I was talking about how it felt like they were maybe the ones in control, but I don't know if I've just seen a lot of KiSMET POV because he's playing pretty good. Rest of the squad, though, have not been at the races. 7 kills between them, with KiSMET 7 of his own.
And this time, again, it's the same tactic here from New York. It's not aggressive. This time, we are going to see HyDra maybe make a move. If they can get this bomb down early, it could be a different round.
I don't believe we've really seen too much planting action going on from the side of New York. Simp has probably scared them off, though. The sniper has been deadly so far. A couple of kills falling his way. That no scope, the highlight, of course.
It's better for Subliners. Bomb down, 4 players up. Who blinks first? Pred versus HyDra. Simp versus Skyz.
Accuracy on the flank as well. Pred's going to go with a stun. HyDra gets dealt with, but will trade it. Smart plays. Accuracy. Will find one of his own. KiSMET will trade it 2v2.
New York have done well in these before. Sid really wants to see if he can pick him. No shot. Waiting again, the diffuser's coming through. Is he going to be the right angle for him? Sid's going to get the kill. The diffuser's in! KiSMET goes all the way around. The 1v2, not that time. Seattle Surge win the S&D. The Ninja Diffuse was in. Unbelievable.
And it's the pressure from Simp Sniper. They're scared of it. Skyz doesn't want to check in case he gets picked off, because then, of course, the bomb's getting diffused. But because he can't check it, the bomb is also getting diffused. Seattle Surge 2 to the gut. And deservedly so. Look at Pred. 11 and 5, those initials is where things are really coming down to it. 6 first bloods for Pred. Those are aBeZy numbers, Brycey. Ridiculous out of Pred.
It wasn't. For New York, maybe the passive attack needs to change, need to find something else a little bit differently. It just seemed like they were giving up an awful lot of map control to Seattle Surge, and that's definitely going to be one for the VOD review and to figure out later on. No matter what they really tried, it was never really going for them. And even on defense, Seattle Surge were being much more aggressive. Yeah, back to the drawing board for New York.
Yeah, and another caveat actually for Seattle Surge and how good they were in that. Those 2 rounds that New York won were 2 1v2s from KiSMET. So if you're going to find those clutch situations, just to find 2 rounds when you get beat 6-2, a lot of questions to be asked. That is very much a back to the drawing board one for me, as well as you, as well as the New York Subliners. That is a tough one to take, and 2-0 down this series now. Bryce, they need the reverse sweep up against Seattle Surge. Tall order, very, very tall order.
It really is. Let's see if they can do it. Coming up after the break, the control between New York and Seattle. Don't go anywhere. We'll see you for more action here on the Call of Duty League.
No way. Good job.
The Call of Duty League is presented by the GMC Hummer EV Pickup, the world's first all-electric super truck. Upgrade your game with the Scuff, the official controller of the Call of Duty League.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Call of Duty League. We are heading into a control. If you are just joining us, Seattle Surge currently lead this 2-0 against the New York Subliners. A good hard point, but a better S&D. Do New York have any way back into this game, Ton?
Well, I mean, it's difficult because when you think about LSCLO control coming up, neither one of these two teams pulling up any trees in terms of the statistics. It's an uncomfortable map for both of them, so you would probably lean to the informed team, which right now is looking like the side of Surge. Looking phenomenal so far, but overall stats on control for both these two players, two of the most influential. And when it comes down to LSCLO, it's those little routes we're going to have to see, and that is going to come from these two guys. HyDra, Pred looking to try and cause havoc. That defensive KD, though, from the side of HyDra is what's standing out from me. Look at what he's going to do when he is playing that defensive side. He's comfortable with the attack in his hand. Expect him to be pushing into top green. Overlook to B, overlook to A. Can cause havoc from that.
Yeah, and this really is a meeting of the Titans, the speedy slaying SMGs. Some of the most exciting POVs in the Call of Duty League, and they've both been individual highlight reels. This time, though, Pred currently has the lead, but HyDra in the statistics could be a game for redemption, and I'm looking forward to it.
Hope we do get a hotel. I want to see some more matches between these two teams because for all that Surge are winning, and I want to say looking relatively comfortable, they've been fun. A lot of fun. Initial hit, which way is it going to go for the Subliners? Back with a little bit of mid-map control. And I want to say one thing for the side of New York, defense has been a struggle for them, so some attacking rounds would not go amiss. They're sitting pretty low on the percentile side of things when it does come down to this map. It's about 2/3 of defensive rounds are won, whereas it's only 1/3 of the attacking rounds are won. It's mostly a defensively sided map, so you need to start locking some of them in. Attacking round would definitely help on the way. B looking like the initial objective for the side of Subliners now as the push starting to come through, looking like it is going to get shut down for Surge, but Skyz still here alive and kicking for Subliners.
Guys trying to find him, but Pred will shut him down before he can do anything. And for New York, it remains just to maybe to stop this clock for a few seconds, try and find something.
So there's a temptation over towards the B side there because accuracy actually gets ripped off the head. Priestahh with the initial shots. HyDra follows it up himself. We'll find a kill on the Mack. And it has tempted the New York Subliners. It's a tantalizing option. A couple of kills going down towards B. You find some kills now. You can find Skyz in a good position to lock down the spawns. Mack will struggle with that one. We'll have to go through the mid-map, but a little bit of control here for Subliners. And not a lot of time to lock it down, but if they can do, they're in a great spot. HyDra frying 6 straight from him.
And this is why statistics are so good. Everybody falls over and over again. 7 kills for him now. Cruise missile in the back pocket. And he's just putting bullets and running away. Reminds me of Black Ops 2 Karma, actually. He was very, very good at doing that. But now HyDra waiting for the rest of his team to make the rest of the kills before they move and execute on A.
Skyz is the crucial one here. He can start to cut off some of the respawns coming through, but he hasn't managed to win one of those gunfights yet. I mean, this is ambitious. Okay. That's his first kill of the game.
It's not always about the amount of kills. Sometimes you just need the right ones. And that's what they're looking for.
Gunning accuracy across the map with the SMG. Oh, accuracy, 1 second.
All the stuns and nades. They waits for it. KiSMET finally gets into this point. It causes issues here for Seattle Surge. They have to send somebody to commit. They do have radio tower control, though. HyDra looking for the long-range gunfights. Almost turns the bird's accuracy. But KiSMET gets that first tick. Pred going to be in a good position to shut it down, though. And a fantastic play from New York, but just not enough.
They haven't really got a lot of control, but that's going to help things. HyDra now calling in the streak. Cruise missile going somewhere. It's going to be on the Simp. He has a trophy. Hard one to bet. But has that possibly opened the door for the Subliners to get a little bit of time here? Over towards the point. Big gunfight win coming in from Mack. HyDra on the flank would have been an issue. Now Priestahh in the mid-map. He's going to be the next one to deal with. My good. Mack melts not 1, 2, but 3. Right now just trying to survive up top, but you will force them further back. It's a big play out of Mack in the mid-map. When B was gone, it was looking all but done and dusted. Subliners, one last throw of the dice.
And Pred's going hunting, because all he has to do here is burn out the time. New York, one last chance for this. They have to get in the point, they have to commit, but Simp is waiting for them, and this is the issue.
Still a chance.
They go through the door. Mack looking over, finds the first. Skyz will get it back, has to just sit on the point, cannot do anything else. 1.6 seconds, and now HyDra gets gunned by Pred as well. 4 ticks for New York. Will that be enough?
Oh, Mack, I would love to see that from his POV. We've seen him clean up the first on the HyDra who was flanking. There's a second one in mid barrels, even pre-aiming him. And he's absolutely spat on him. Impressive players from Mack again. And he has been that guy for Surge in this series. It's felt that way, hasn't he? He's not necessarily set the world on fire in terms of numbers, but these kills that we're seeing are always important. He's always that guy doing the dirty work, 7 and 8, don't care, he could have 3 kills. Those 3 kills in the middle of the map won them around pretty much.
Well, let's see. Oh, New York can do a better job holding here. It doesn't really matter, but they're already in.
Oh,
my goodness, that's 3 down. Only Skyz left alive, and he finds Simp. Could be a fast A capture. Now, capturing A early doesn't always mean they're going to get the round or get more ticks. B is a difficult capture at the best of times.
It is. You can always see A, that is very difficult as well. And you can get a team to lock it down, but Mack is here again. The snapper from Simp. That's going to be A gone, surely. Priestahh will have a little look, but A now gone. Priestahh still putting the pressure on. If surely won't find a 30, will not. Sib will shut that down, but honestly, both these sides are hard to attack when it's solo. You kind of need to keep things bubbling on both sides if you want a really successful attacking round, but it's felt like A has got more difficult as time has went on, and B maybe a little bit easier as teams begin to understand. Mid-map cleared out from the side of Seattle Surge. That's what you're going to concentrate on. Nobody on the flank for Subliners. So it is a one-pronged attack, if you like, from Seattle Surge. That's going to have to come on through.
Long-range Vaz Nev, not going to work out for them yet. Big fight going to go down here as well as KiSMET gets it. Seattle Surge suddenly going back to the spawn. Only Pred left alive, but coming under fire from every single angle. Runs away, but runs straight into HyDra. Eventually is traded out by Sib, but it will mean Seattle Surge have to rethink this attack again.
Even that 1 kill coming in from Pred, though, is pretty influential because it slows down Subliners from finding a little bit more mid-map, more mid-map pressure. That's very difficult to say. Surge now trying to find a little bit of a way through that mid-map. Subliners couldn't let themselves lock down any more control of the map. HyDra will be able to find a kill, but still they can't really get out their spawn. The only person in the position to slow down Surge out of their spawn is Priestahh right now, and he's dead.
Pred looking for them off the respawn, but HyDra already into the cover. Will be taken down eventually. Accuracy actually takes it away from Pred. If they can find a few more kills here, this piece is looking good. Pred, though, has been stunned. He has been found. They just don't have the bodies to get it done. And New York keep taking control. They are 3 deep on B.
And just holding that pressure is so important. KiSMET now on his way up. Will get gunned. Good shots coming in from Pred. And that player towards the back end, Priestahh. Accuracy is
a long way.
So deep.
This is a flank to end all flanks.
Yeah, there's a good fight one over towards the field. Oh, if you could have found that kill on the Priestahh, it's a dangerous position for New York, but looking like they're going to hold, Bryce.
They certainly are, and that's what I said. Taking A doesn't always mean you're going to get more ticks in the round or get it done. Seattle Surge looking for their last push. Priestahh guns 1. Priestahh looks for the second. Skyz will get it eventually. Only accuracy left, but he is so far behind. He is not getting to this point in time, and it is looking like New York will have better of their defense. Only 3 ticks there for Seattle.
The struggles for Surge on their offense actually do continue. 29% of your attacks is what's being won. And both teams, I mean, they kind of have a struggle in the same sense. New York's attacks look pretty good. Surge's look pretty bad. Surge's defenses look pretty good. New York's look pretty bad. All about those defensive rounds coming on through so far. And it kind of felt a strange one because it never felt like New York had control of green or had control of field for the most part. It was just sit back, irons up, find your gunfights. And they did so successfully. Surge unable to break what was a very stiff defense from Subliners.
Well, New York will be looking to do a little bit better this time. HyDra looking for him as well, but gun Mack has been winning so many influential gunfights in this game. KiSMET will eventually take him down. But this is about fighting for mid-map control, and he's already identified that Pred's probably behind. And HyDra and Pred going at it. KiSMET looking for Pred now. And while they have got it, no real progress has been made up the map.
There's an open door over towards B. KiSMET hears someone. That's going to be on Mack running through the mid-map. He's now being dealt with. This is looking good for the side of Subliners. B, the pressure is potentially on if he could have found that. Another nail in the coffin. But still the pressure is here. Skyz gets rid of accuracy on the flank. Still pressure for Subliners over towards B.
Every single member of Subliners got off the point then. Trying to make these kills before they commit to it as well. But Seattle Surge find all of them but KiSMET. KiSMET now jumps on the way. This is better to stop the clock. He probably won't be able to get this first one down, but he tries to stop as he flies out towards accuracy and hits nothing but grass.
I get a Mack POV in this map, by the way. Every gunfight I'm seeing him win. Doesn't matter what position he's in, doesn't matter what position the other opposition is in. It's looking so good from Mack right now. Pred now going to get dealt with. Pressure over towards A. Can Mack deal with it? There's one. Can't find the second. A little bit of a respite for the side of Subliners.
They clean it up fast as well. Not a single tick here for New York. They'll be looking for that first one at A. They're currently on 4 ticks from the first round. Now 5 ticks. At this point, I wonder if Seattle Surge give this up. Not going to look likely. Pred going to find 2. Never give you up. It's Røkkr actually in this one. Pred with 3! Almost finds a 4th, but can't. Accuracy's going to try and clean up against Skyz, and he will do. No! A second on the HyDra. Seattle Surge are shooting today.
I mean, that man is just shooting universe. There's not even suns out of his tack at this stage. A little bit of a purchase, I want to say, over towards the B side. Pred, Mack will find kills, and of course, you've been gunned as well. Oh my god, Seattle Surge. Can I get a class check? God damn.
Yeah, those gunfights. Looking pretty crisp, pretty solid. Actually moves his gun. Doesn't even have a bullet missed there.
I don't think they missed a bullet the entire round.
But here's the tell. Can New York hold their defense now? If they can, we get to round number 5. Always still way back in this game for New York. You would say at this point in the game, Seattle Surge look like the better squad. But we've said that before in the CDL, and then madness happens.
Make no assumptions on what's happened before when it comes down to any game of the Call of Duty League. 25 and 15 from Pred. An assumption that he'll put up these numbers is a fair one when it comes down to these games. Now waiting for KiSMET on this flank. Not much cleared out on the mid-map from the side of Seattle Surge, but they will still get these shots over towards it. Yeah, okay, feels like a turn on Pred already. Weak Priestahh always going to win that gunfight, but that's a nice one from Skyz. A lot better from the side of New York. Surge pinned back in.
Oh, Skyz almost takes down Mack as well. Super weak. HyDra probably will go for the chow here. Slow pick around the corner, and Mack with a better angle finds him. Dumps out towards it as well. And now bodies on towards A. Another early capture here for Seattle Surge.
Mack just happy to sit tight here. I wouldn't mind an extension, but I think he just wants to extend the time rather than push forward. Keep that pressure on. Now find himself up top. A couple of gunfight wins on transition as A is secured. Would be nice for the side of Seattle Surge, who are just flooding through mid-map here, Bryce.
Well, already, first push done. Here comes accuracy. Could be another legendary long flank. Priest has already found him. Accuracy running back into the map that some people have never even looked at before. And will fall. And already you can see HyDra has pushed up. He's going to be a menace to keep Seattle Surge on their toes.
That sounds pop from Mack, and we'll find the first to reset it. And crucially, HyDra needs to stay alive here. Okay, he's been taken down, so everybody from the side of Subline is over towards the backside now. If you are Seattle Surge, just a few gunfight wins and you're in a good spot.
Mack in. Stopping the time. I mean, he's alone. Completely and totally alone. Finds the first time, will eventually fall. The rest of Seattle Surge trying to get in position, but not winning a gunfight, and Pred will fall as well. Back to respawn, Surge.
And that is just some good routes coming in from the side of the Subliners. Some great shots from KiSMET to take down Simp. You've got to slowly pick your way out if you Surge. You've managed to do so. But even when they find those kills, you think in a control round, oh yeah, okay, they should be pushing on and getting a hold of at least a ticket. But how far back they were. Subliners have now had the opportunity to set themselves up in awkward little positions. This would be a relatively big gunfight. If Priestahh can win it, he can. And just continues to slow Surge down. It's feeling like around 5.
It really is, but with 40 seconds left to go, New York cannot afford to put a foot wrong. HyDra versus Mack, and already finds that kill. Every single time New York do this, it puts Seattle Surge back on the back foot. They need players to convert B into a win. They are running out of time. Skyz again being a nuisance. And Seattle Surge cannot catch a break. They cannot find the wave of kills they need.
One decent push. That's all you need. KiSMET, good shots, but not good enough. Now HyDra in the mid-map. Can they deal with him? They're on to the point. It looks like they might deal with him. They've got him away. Surge are on.
11 seconds stopped, but HyDra still alive. Finds one on the flank. Looks for the long gun. Simp is going to fall as well. And that is the issue. You cannot leave HyDra alive. The push falls to pieces. Seattle Surge will only have 6 ticks in this one. So I think New York will get the defense.
The defense has been typically way below average, if that is the case. But with Surge's offense not being great either, I think New York will take your chances in round number 5 if you get a hold of the defensive side. Surge seemed to get one of the sites relatively easily, but then as soon as things turn and concentrate on only one of the sides, then it does get a little bit more difficult for them. Struggling to break that backline of subliners who are sitting quite resolutely. It doesn't feel it's actually subliners on the attack. Good mats.
Yeah,
that's usually my job.
Here we go, looking for as well. HyDra, that's a huge first gun. Priestahh gets another one. Mack has to make sure that nothing else goes wrong. Already they're moving over towards B. This could be the difference maker. Mack somehow gunning KiSMET. That chain link fence is always a horrible gunfight.
Never one you like to see. Accuracy from winning a big one on the HyDra, though. He can now slow them down over towards that B side. It's such a good spot for somebody with a good AR shot to just post themselves up in B and nuisance, get the shots down, make them weak as they start to onslaught over towards B still. Accuracy's still alive, but not much defense over towards this back side. You can see Priestahh overextending over towards the hillside, and that will spawn Subliner. Sorry, the Surge so far away. KiSMET just taking this time up. 3 dead. Pred the only one here.
The superhero arrives, but it only gives them a brief respite. Priestahh now on Overwatch. Looks for the first. Gun down. New York are putting Seattle Surge way behind. And he's already ticking up. The second tick is in. Does Seattle Surge have anything left to deflect this? I don't think they do. And B will be captured. It may be a long fight to A.
Long time, Bryce. A minute and 50 seconds you got to defend for. It's doable, though. Oh, my God, HyDra. I'd like to think that Simp was weak, but Pred wasn't. HyDra with the gunny. Now a little bit more pressure onto the side of Seattle Surge. HyDra's not slowing down now. Streak coming in from Priestahh.
He's going to catch. No, the trophy systems are always out. Seattle Surge. Life still in this. Priestahh looking for the player at radio. He knows he's going to be there, biding his time. Nade flying out as well. Does actually have one down? He does, and that's going to be another kill.
Oh, that's big.
At the moment, Surge are holding.
That's big that those 3 kills come through. Just a little bit of respite for Surge. They can set themselves up a little bit better now. You can see where Pred is as well. They're all starting to push down that B side. KiSMET's still here and causing issue now. Mack needs to stay alive and find kills on top of it.
You see KiSMET looking for him. Desperately knows where this player is going to be. 1 minute on the clock. Plenty of time for New York to get this. KiSMET's going to be the first in, already onto it. Going down. Mack finds 2, Simp finds another one, and the last one will not fall. Skyz gets away. A lot of setup there for New York, but nothing comes out of it.
Mack just does a fantastic job again. Finds 2 inside of top office, which just slows them down, but look at New York just stacking it from the front. Is it going to be Mack to shut them down again? It isn't. Got to keep going if you're Surge. You got to funnel bodies in here to get them off it.
They're going to chow. They're all going to chow. New York flying in. Simp finds one. Pred finds another. Pred finds a second. Looking for the third on the Skyz. Skyz runs. He knows he's being chased and he gets taken down as well. New York committed with a full stack of players, but a full stack of respawns is all they find. And with 26 seconds left to go, Seattle Surge must not make a mistake.
Accuracy has read this. He's just holding him down the B side. You might have captured the point, but you will not pass the mountain. Accuracy holding down this side. It's still possible with subliners, but they've only got 10 seconds to do it.
New York, everything on the line as Pred is gunning. HyDra has fallen as well. They might be able to stop this. I think Priesthah's going to be on the point. 4.6 seconds, but no lives remaining. And they fly. Mack's going for it as well. And it was big gets yesterday for New York, but it's sourdough today as Seattle Surge take this 3-0.
It is a monster SMG performance from Surge. We said it was going to come down to it. And Pred and Mack drop a combined 70+ kills on your forehead. It's a 3-0 for Seattle Surge, and that is a statement made heading into Texas. 40 for Pred, 33 for Mack. That is a 4,400. Excuse me? My goodness, Pred.
27 non-traded kills. I think the record we saw was Havoc earlier in the season on that map.
42, 43, something along those lines. Yeah,
could have been far off. Unfortunately didn't, but hey, the 3-0W will have to be enough done. And
I said it's a statement, man. It felt like Surge in control the majority of each and every one of these maps. 70-point win and hard point. It's a 4-round win. And Search and Destroy, those 2 rounds you lose, there's a 1v2. So, I mean, if you had to take any negatives away from Search, just brush up on your clutch situations. But you win your defenses in the control, which is ultimately what has been the strength for you. You look at New York, they've struggled in their attacking rounds, as have Surge. It comes down to these defensive rounds, but ultimately comfortable for the side of Seattle Surge. That will give them a lot of confidence heading into Texas next week.
Oh, it certainly will. Both teams obviously sitting happy in the winner side of the bracket, but winning against New York, a little bit of revenge for Major 1. But we'll send it over to our wonderful Des to break down everything they saw in that game.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. I did not expect a hot 3-0, but that's how we start our day. Surge closed it out with 3 maps, and I was looking through. You dropped a map to Florida. You dropped a map to London. What was different about the squad playing against New York today, Allie?
Like I said, they gave them that map number 2 Embassy. It's one of Seattle Surge's better maps when it comes to search and destroy, and New York doesn't really have any accolades on the map. And then when it came to number 3, I think it was just the consistency for me, not only from Pred, but from Mack and accuracy as well. I feel like they both really impressed me, specifically in the respawns in this series. I think actually, again, he's been a player that's gotten a lot of flack recently, and when he was asked about it, it was like, you know what? I only care about my teammates' opinions, and I feel like in this series, he really shown that he can play to his team's strengths and put them in a favorable position.
I just thought in this series, like in some of the tense moments, like Seattle just clearly knew what they wanted to do. Like we think about Embassy on that map 1, like they have 9 reps in the season on that map going up against New York, who only has 3. So veto strategy, like it looks intimidating when you see that New York 3-0 record, but they were comfortable going up on it and clearly prioritize the right things. Early on, we see them break into kitchen, get a big chunk of time there. We know, we highlighted, that's where New York has been finding success there, and Seattle Surge doesn't allow it. I also thought the ARs did a really good job of that Embassy as well, just controlling street when it came to P2. And then we go into that S&D, as Ali was talking about, like a flawless Surge by all means, other than the only 2 rounds New York won were KiSMET clutches, right? So Seattle came out swinging, man.
Ridiculous stuff here from Seattle Surge, especially Pred, who drops a 40 bomb on us. Sheesh. As we close out our 3rd to the last match of the qualifiers. A 3-2 conclusion on control means it's a clean sweep, and that is going to put Seattle Surge currently number 1 in our standings. They're 4-1, our first team to get there, and they had it with plays like this. Let's take a look. It's our scuff play of the game. It's coming from a fantastic duo of Pred and Simp, the sophomores, getting it done in Search. Let's start here with Pred and then go over to a no-scope. Allie, what do you think?
I mean, it's just some of the plays they're making on the map. The awareness is incredible, and that might be one of the first no-scopes we've seen this year.
I would be so mad.
No way. Good job.
I think he just no-scoped you. I'm not even sure.
That's
he just no-scoped you.
like, I don't know.
You're good. I'm good.
That was just kind of the story of the games today for New York. I don't know what's happening. They're just getting a little bit lucky. Can they keep up this momentum, though? I tweeted out, is Surge a top 3 team, a top 3 contender going into Texas? 70% of the responders said no, Nameless. Do you think they're right or wrong right now?
I mean, I feel like there's a for sure case for that, right? They're 4-1. They have had a little bit of an easier split, I would say, but then they put the stamp on it with the New York victory here in a 3-0 fashion. I think they definitely are. The Search and Destroy 4-1 throughout this split in their matches. That is so impressive from a team who simply couldn't win one last stage.
Allie, final thoughts here on Surge as we take a look at the box score of our final maps. What did you think about the boys representing Seattle?
I think it was great. I think, map 1 really stood out to me as well, and the fact that they were the 9th team in the league in this split when it came to rotation, so they were lacking a bit on that fundamentals, and that's how they kind of opened up that Embassy hard point. But mid-game, they started to fix it. They started early rotating for that P2. They had 2 fantastic fantastic holds there, and even getting to that kitchen hill, they were there first. They did get broke right away, but they broke right back in. I think that's a testament to how strong that team can be in respawn.
And then also, when you look at like the maps in the series, how we kind of touched on the vetoes, like they decide to not square up on Hotel and put El Asilo in the mix. They get a victory there. If they become good at Asilo, then we're talking about a team who is good on all 3 control maps, right? And with the Search and Destroy looking like this, how can you say this team isn't a contender?
This is one of the best turnarounds we have seen all season. Let's take a look at the standings and remind you the start here for the Surge. They were 1-3 in Major 1 qualifier, 1-4 in Major 2 qualifier. Now you're looking in a mirror at a 4-1 final record as they secure the #1 seed. For now, we're only going to see 2 other teams challenge them for that position. One of those is going to be Atlanta FaZe coming up. Allie, we're taking a look at that leaderboard. A lot of shakeups. We have all 5 of those teams on the left side still competing tonight.
Yeah, I mean, back and forth throughout all of these standings, I feel like is what it's been, but I know we all just really want to get to that FaZe and OpTic match.
We're going to have like a 3-way tie possibly for first place.
It's going to get weird, and I'm here for it. Also, I'm here for what we got going with our friends at Upper Deck. Let's read it to you guys. Are you ready for this one? Start your digital collection today with the 2021 Call of Duty League trading cards by Upper Deck, the official trading card partner of the CDL. Collect your favorite teams and players on UpperDeckEPAC.com or just scan that QR code. What's your favorite card you got so far, Nameless?
Oh, man, we got a bunch of them. That Chino one that I got was pretty solid,
Mean Sheen, baby.
Sheen, yep. I also got a Garrison from Cold War. It's a pretty solid map card. Yeah, there's a bunch of different cards you can grab.
And, of course, Allie, while you're collecting your cards, you should also collect a few more players to follow. We've got watch parties galore these days.
We really do it. There's a huge list. I know everybody's probably tuning in to the Scump Methods watch stream or the flank on the side of Sumas, but there's plenty of other people live as well.
Yeah, make sure you watch Crim as well. We all want to tune into Big Crim 6, the goat up there watching, doing the watch party for the matches.
So we'll talk about Crim here in a little bit. For now, though, I want to talk about the new Robo Trigger on the map. Pred is joining us live. He dropped a 40 bomb, and now he's on the microphone. Pred, how are we feeling as you are switching headsets? I will slow down my question to buy you time and ask you about this matchup. You played the Subliners and you walk away with a clean sweep. Pred, what was it like playing against New York tonight?
You know, it was a good series. I mean, we know they're a good team. I feel like we match up well against them. I feel like we have a really good matchup. So, like I said, for us, it's always been our S&D, and I feel like ever since we've elevated that, I think we're like 4-1 this split, and I feel like it just kind of shows what kind of team we can be once we sorted that game out.
Absolutely. I think S&D is definitely what kind of pushes you guys past that point of just being a good team. It pushes you to that championship level. And speaking of rings, I know you guys won Toronto last year, and I believe that was Major 3. I'm wondering if you guys are kind of feeling at that same level right now as we head into Texas this upcoming week?
I mean, yeah, the vibe's definitely in the camp, you know. I mean, we know it's Major 3 time. We know what happened last time, Major 3. We finished the split last year, I think 4-1 as well. So yeah, I mean, you know, it's kind of in the works. We're kind of setting ourselves up for it. So I'm just glad that, you know, the way we've been practicing and all the hard work we've been putting in is starting to show.
Pred, we all know it's been the Search and Destroy that you guys have been working on, but it's not just that. What else have you guys been trying to figure out throughout this stage that you're proud of at this moment? Because I know you're always talking about the game plan on game day. What does that entail for Seattle Surge?
For us, we also we're trying to expand our hardpoint pool, so that's why we've been playing HyDra a lot recently. I know at the start of the year we barely played that map, but I feel like once we, you know, open up our hardpoint pool, start getting good at S&D, I feel like we're going to be a really good contending team. We just need to make sure we stay consistent at that, and you know, just don't drop off on the, you know, the practice and stuff like that.
Got it.
Pred, 2 questions. Are you happy right now?
Yeah, I'm happy, but I'm not really that satisfied yet, to be honest, because I mean, it's just an online match, but we obviously want to win tournaments.
I love that mentality. Final question for you is the Surge tweeted out your clip. It was you with the 3-piece accuracy picking up a 2-piece. What is this about the Nobu duo? Is that where you guys go to celebrate?
Yeah, we're the Nobu duo. We call ourselves something else, but obviously we can't say that on the live. But me and him, yeah, no, we're just yeah, we're the duo, Nobu duo.
Chat, if you know, you know. Pred, thank you so much, and congratulations. From 1-4, you finished with a 4-1 record here in the Major 3 qualifier.
Thank you guys, man. I appreciate it. Welcome to the Seattle roller coaster, man.
There we go, baby. It is all highs right now in Seattle with a 4-1 finish. As we look forward, though, we have an epic battle still to go. This is going to decide the fate of OpTic Texas, whether you're in the winner's bracket or starting in the loser's bracket at your home major. And there's tons of watch parties going on. As you mentioned, Scump and Methods are live, The Flank is live, and our good friend Krim, the greatest of all time, will be tuning in for this one. So make sure you're staying locked in. It's FaZe versus OpTic Texas coming up next.
He looks good.
How does it feel to evolve from one event being virtually unknown to another event being one of the biggest slayers in the game?
Well, I just play to have fun, and it just happened that I got good.
Gonna do it! That is it! Complexity takes out Impact!
First thing I think of, or anyone should think of when it comes to Krim, is winning. Lifting that trophy up.
Krim 6, man. Where do I even begin?
The most decorated COD player.
He's a 38-time champion.
EG wins it. They come back from it. What a crazy matchup. OpTic Gaming just let it go.
That hunger to compete, always pushing his teams to like get to that next level.
The guy was grinding day in and day out for so many years.
Making all the plays is Krim 6. The dynasty has been cemented. They are the greatest roster in Call of Duty history.
What a career. The literal GOAT of the scene.
Definitely the GOAT.
He's the GOAT of COD.
He's had a huge impact on Call of Duty.
He's been at the top for so long now. I mean, his resume speaks for itself.
Good God. Krim 6, cheeky little angle, and ripping heads to make it happen.
He has literally spent all of his time, if not just being on a dynasty team, always in the top 3, top 4 mix.
I came up against Krim 6 for the first time, and that was the moment I realized I need to get a lot better.
Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. King Kong got nothing on me. King of the jungle, man, young man rumble. See you hating on me, but you can't stop my hustle.
He would always roast me. When it started, when I was beating him in AW all the time, then he's like, oh, all you do is camp in corners. And he would always like roast me, and it always gave me that extra motivation to be better. And I feel like he kind of did it on purpose or something, because I think he expected greatness out of me.
He'd always be coming at the Tiny Terrors a little bit extra, so it was always a good little fun rivalry we had.
There's the final kill. Dallas Empire get it done. They are your 2020 Call of Duty League champions. Krim 6, now undisputedly the greatest Call of Duty player of all time.
We've, of course, teamed together. We won a world championship. We've had some great memories. I really appreciate, even getting to experience teaming with him.
Favorite memory as Krim is definitely the Pro-Am that we won. That was a really cool, surreal moment to win with him. It's a different kind of feeling.
And they will walk away with the game as Krim 6 will channel his inner Doctor Strange.
When your back's against the wall, better fight back. Yeah, we ready to brawl. We wanna fight back.
The New York event, he's walking up on the stage.